digging this new intro, Brian. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's fire.
Fire, man. Shout out to whoever made this beat, bro. We appreciate you. Stop playing with us. Hey, we are back. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of Soapbox Sports Live Edition. Great takes, bold debates, straight from the soapbox. Sorry, I got a little bit carried away that time. I was really caught up on the beat, so apologies for that little intro there. But boy, oh boy, are we excited. Brian, how you feeling today, man?
Man, we bringing the energy.
Can you dig it, sucker? Too much energy, bro. Calm down.
Hey, I always want to do like a little wrestling intro, bro, coming in. So I had to, bro, off the dome. But, man, thanks for joining us on our live show, man. We got clean takes, bold debates, like my homie stated. We coming here with, all the hot sport takes in the NFL and NBA. And we'll expand more if y'all about that life, man, because we could talk all sports if y'all want, but we're going to kick it with the most popular sports, man. And we're going to start off with the NFL. Another crazy weekend, as always, very unpredictable. So we're going to jump into what was our statement this past Sunday, Chris. And I don't know if you want to kick it off just talking about which teams, really made a statement this Sunday in Week 11. If you want to start, who made the loudest statement this week?
Loudest statement for me this week was the Rams.
Okay.
I think the Rams made the loudest statement this week. I think coming into this week, we had a lot of questions about whether or not, well, we didn't really have questions about whether or not they can sustain it. It was really whether or not if they ran into another great defense, because Seattle has a really, really great defense, would they be able to, at the end of the day, pull it out? Now, in their defense, Sam Darnold had one of the worst performances I've seen in a very long time. But you got to give the Rams defense a lot of credit. 4 takeaways. Sam Darnold was under attack all afternoon, bro. I can't remember how many times he had pressure in his face. You got to give a lot of credit to Jerry Verse and them boys up front. And then when the game came down to it, obviously special teams played a big factor with that missed kick at the end. But you got to give the Rams a lot of credit, and that defense particularly a lot of credit, because coming into this week, Matt Stafford was playing some all-world football. And you didn't really expect that to continue week in and week out. And this was the week out because he didn't play well at all, but their defense carried them. And then it made Sam Darnold look like Sam Darnold, who I expected Sam Darnold to be this whole season. So you got to give Rams a lot of credit. I think they're in the catbird seat for the NFC right now. I don't think there's too many other teams that I think could probably hang with them if the playoffs roll around right now. So I think the Rams made the loudest statement this weekend. Feel free to disagree, which I know you do, bro.
Ain't even about disagreeing. I mean, Rams made a good statement, but the game was extremely close with 4 picks. So if we talking defense, let's go to the best defense in the NFL. The Denver Broncos made the loudest statement. I can't stand the Denver Broncos. And it's mainly Bo Nix. And his nickname is Bo Get It Done Nix, because that's all he does at the end of the day. I hate to say his stats don't impress. To me, he's like Trent Dilfer on the Ravens. But what Denver is doing, especially that defense, they're creating a legacy, and they're trying to become legendary because they're carrying this team, and they're knocking off the greats. They didn't just play anybody. I have Patrick Mahomes in my top 5 teams in the NFL, and Denver literally just kicked them out and replaced them on my list solely because of the defense. So if they continue this, they're showing that their defense could carry them far in the playoffs despite what Bo Nix does. So that's my statement team for this week, Chris.
I can understand why it would probably be your statement team for the week, beating the Chiefs in terms of like in its totality is a big thing. But this season, I've been screaming it from the mountaintop, bro. Since week 1, the Chiefs are not legit. They are not legit. Now, Brian, I know you're not doing it this week, but can you defend it finally, bro? Just take them out of your top 5. Are they a top 5 team?
They are out of my top 5 because I'm putting the Denver Broncos in there because Bo Get It Done Nix and that defense is going to carry them far. And the Chiefs may not make the playoffs. So, yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. So,
okay. All right. So boom. So you kind of just hinted to what I want to kind of segue to
Yeah.
because you said we talking about statements, right? So which team probably slipped into the grave this week, Brian? Who are you completely writing off then in that case? Because you kind of segued perfectly. Who you writing off
Who am I writing off?
that you had as not necessarily a contender, but at least a playoff team? Who you writing off, bro?
Unfortunately, it's going to be the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. And the only reason I selected Chiefs is because I don't see how they get the 7th spot. And Mr. Chris Lee Nostradamus earlier this year said the Chiefs may not make the playoffs, and this was a playoff game for them. The Ravens are playing playoff football, even though they did not look good. The Bills, Josh Allen put on an out-of-world performance, and these were everybody's top 3 for the AFC, and all 3 might miss or are competing for this last spot. And in the Chiefs' own division, they might end up 3rd. So, yeah, the Chiefs, I think I'm going to bury them. It's done, even if they win out. So, Chiefs done. And yeah, do you have another team that you would bury? Because I know you already buried the Chiefs.
Listen, I know we kind of talked about them a little bit, and I guess I had the privilege or the displeasure of attending this game yesterday live and in person. I'm done with the Falcons, bro. I'm all the way done with the Falcons. I know we kind of ripped them off a little bit earlier, but they are dead and buried. Listen, the coach isn't the guy. The GM probably isn't the guy anymore either. Michael Penix isn't that guy, bro. He just isn't. 9 touchdowns on the season, bro. 3 interceptions. He hasn't been playing bad, but not playing good either, bro. Like, not playing winning football. The whole organization just felt like yesterday was just like a nail in the coffin for this whole regime. Clean house, bro. If you can, get your hands on Mike Tomlin. Do whatever it takes to get him out of the Steelers organization. Bring him all home because he's an Atlanta, Georgia native. It's time, bro. I'm done with the Falcons. I think the whole city's done with the Falcons. The only sad part is that baseball season doesn't start for another 3-4 months. So they don't really have much outside of Georgia, I guess, to root for out down here. But yeah, the Falcons, they're dead and buried to me. I'm done with them, bro.
Boo, bro. Stop burying the same team, bro. You didn't double bury these guys.
Bro, I went to the game yesterday. I wasted time, money.
You didn't send them to hell at this point.
And you know how I feel about my boy Younghoe Koo.
Younghoe who?
Younghoe Koo, the culture.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Atlanta's been dead and gone. The Dirty Birds is the dead birds, bro. They gotta go. But yeah. So there was a lot of, I would say, upsets this weekend as well. Was there any win that you saw as fool's gold, like a team that pulled out a victory? People think they might be turning the corner, or you just think it was fool's gold?
If I had to say somebody who's probably fool's gold this weekend, bro, funny enough, the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, bro. Like, listen, as the season continues to go on and on, I know we were arguing earlier in the season. I was really the Eagles guy. You were going up against them. You were battling our friend Jordan, who calls in from time to time. I think I'm coming around to what you were seeing, Brian. This offense is terrible, bro. There's no other way to put it. They can't run the football. And the fact that they can't run the football means that they have to throw the football. And they don't do that well either. Jalen Hurts, bro. I was coming in here and I made the argument that, he was better than Cam Newton. And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, if Cam Newton was on this team, sure, they'd probably have the similar record, but it would just look better, bro. Like, I just feel like it would look better. 8 targets between Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, only 50-something yards, bro. This is the second week back-to-back that I think they've only scored like 10 or something points. This is not looking good. You're only going to get the real good teams on the NFC, and a lot of the NFC teams have really good defenses. What's happening on this offensive side of the ball is not going to cut it. They have to play better. They have to get the balls into their playmakers' hands. And obviously, Saquon has to play better. But Jalen, you the reigning Super Bowl MVP, bro. Sometimes you got to put the team on your back. Put the cape on, bro. Put the cape on. We've seen that you have that in your arsenal. You're capable of doing it. I just don't understand what I'm seeing from the Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't really expect their offense to be all world, but I also didn't expect it to be all booty, bro. Because that's exactly what it is right now, bro. It's bad. It's bad. But who you got, man? I know it's a shock for me to say the Eagles, but
yeah, that's crazy. The Eagles' trade deadline moves were phenomenal. As you can see, that defense has taken another step to the next level because if you ask who's the best offense in the league, a lot of people would probably say the Detroit Lions. They're a machine. They got Sonic and Knuckles, St. Brown. They got Laporte. I mean, everything. They got the best offensive line, best running backs. They got a great defense as well. So for the Eagles to go in there and beat a top team who people see as a contender in the NFC and thoroughly stop them, that's a no-no on your part, Chris, because it's 2 weeks in a row where the Eagles defense has went insane ever since they made those trades. So the Eagles are scary because if you're saying the offense is in trouble, they have offensive weapons. And one thing about Jalen Hurts, he know how to play in the playoffs. So all this regular season noise is noise. For my fool's gold, I mean, I have quite a few. One, I just want to start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence should not be. Trevor Lawrence is not that guy. The Chargers, I don't know who they are. Every now and then they show up. Then the next week they lay a dud like this. But the Jags defense is great. For my next team that is fool's gold, I know I'm going on a rampage right now. The Chicago Bears, fool's gold. They beat the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like they're winning these one-score games. They're not even they're one field goal games. Chicago keeps doing this. Good for you all, but I know in the playoffs you're one and done if once you make it as well. And yeah, I think we have a caller on as well. I want to get who we got? Is it Jordan?
We got Jordan back.
Yeah, let's get Jordan on here. I love when Jordan come on, boy.
I already know I'm about to hear it. What's up, Jordan? How you doing, man?
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's good? How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Did you hear Chris Lee's take on his Fool's Gold team?
I did, and I expect it. I'm not gonna lie, I expect it.
Jordan, hold on. Is this Jordan?
No. I expect it. I didn't say you were right. I said I expect it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do you want me to go into why I'm telling you you're not right, or do you want me just to agree with you?
Listen, please elaborate. I love hearing how I'm wrong.
Sure, no problem. Week 1, the Packers were the Super Bowl favorites. What happened a week ago? The Eagles beat them. Week 2, the Baker Mayfield MVP campaign started till he faced the Eagles. Week 3, I'm pretty positive we played the LA Rams. Right now, they're the Super Bowl favorites. We beat them. Now, the only team, in fact, let me keep going. For 3 straight times, we've beat the Kansas City Chiefs. In fact, there's a MVP right now. His name is Josh Allen. He can't beat a certain player, but the only player that can beat Patrick Mahomes is who? Jalen Hurts. Not going to play these games of fool's gold and everybody's worried about the Eagles because no matter what, we win. That's all that matters. I don't care how many yards he throws. I don't care how many times Saquon runs the ball for negative yards. The W is in the column, and we're going to go to, the Super Bowl, most likely. I hope. I'm not going to jinx it, but we're on our way. The only team we haven't beat that everybody is all in love with is the Bills. And the Bills lost to Tua Tagovailoa. I don't even know if I said his name right, Mr. CTE himself. So I'm not sure why we're still holding him in high regard, but, the Eagles do what they do.
Listen, Jordan, I have one question for you. Just one question.
Go ahead.
Are you not concerned about that offense at all?
I'm concerned about Kevin Patullo calling plays because he calls plays like my 10-year-old when he plays Madden with me. That's my problem. I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown's beef. That's been going on for years. Whatever's going on there, they need to figure it out. I'm not really worried about Saquon. He'll figure it out too. He's due for a big game. I'm worried about our offensive coordinator. Now, I do have a nickname for the old Giants head coach. His name is Fat Eminem. That's who we need to bring in. And that's who I definitely want to be calling plays by the end of the season. I need Fat Eminem in Philadelphia. That's who I need.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think honestly, Sirianni should take over play calling duty.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You saw our offense is bad when Kevin Patullo's calling plays. Wait till Sirianni calls plays. It's even worse. So
I get you, but at least he finds ways to get your good players the ball, bro. Like
I agree. I agree.
it's a travesty, bro. Like I don't have
It
AJ
is.
Brown on my fantasy team, but I feel bad for him, bro. Week in and
Well,
week out, what is he averaging in the last few weeks? Maybe 3 or 4 targets per
I don't
game.
know.
That's not
I
acceptable,
average more
man.
yards than AJ Brown does right now. That's the problem. I mean, it's good that you don't have him on on your fantasy team. He told everyone to drop them. Drop
Yep.
him, and he's right. I mean, again, it's a frustrating situation because we win, and then there's something that happens. AJ answers how AJ answers, and I'm not gonna blame AJ for how he speaks because I'm very vocal the same way he is in my regular life. So I can't get mad at him for being that person. But there's a way to answer questions that doesn't shine a negative light. I mean, you go on Twitter, me, you speak, you're doing it on purpose. I lived through the Terrell
Yeah.
Owens, Donovan McNabb situation and watched it with my dad, and
Mhm.
now I'm watching this with my son, and it's I guess it's a rite of passage for Philadelphia Eagles fans. But I mean, at least we got a Super
Good
Bowl out of this
analogy.
group. So
Listen, I just want to add to that. Defense wins championships, and I don't know if you've seen the defense, Chris.
They look good.
Does not look good.
Yeah, they look great.
They
look great.
completely neutralized probably the best offense in the league. I watched that game last night, and I thought if that was your first time ever watching the Detroit Lions, you would think it was the Detroit Lions of old. That's how scary the Eagles defense was. And just how we give a pass for the Broncos, whose offense is inept, but they continue to win, I'm going to give that same pass to the Eagles because one, I at least know they know how to win a championship, and they had these same problems, similar problems last year and the year before. But when the playoffs came, everyone I feel like is going to show up, especially Saquon. I feel like Saquon had so many carries last season. He did so much. He's taking a break. He has nothing else to prove. It's about winning championships now.
I mean, so
I mean,
I'll say this.
defense wins championships, but now I mean the league has adapted to what the Eagles' identity was, and it's Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have to figure out a new identity. But the problem is, we got a bum at offensive coordinator who doesn't to save his life, and until we get that situation fixed, we're going to keep doing the same song and dance. It's going to be ugly wins, but they're going to be wins nonetheless. So again, I mean, fool's gold. You call it whatever you want. Super Bowl bound, baby. It's how it goes. I've been.
All right, just want to see Jordan. You still there?
Looks like Jordan dropped off, but he was definitely dropping some dimes, though, man.
Well, all right. So I'll say this just before we just move on to the next thing. From a macro and then a micro perspective. Just from a micro perspective, in that last game, he talked about Kevin Patullo calling the plays. What's his face? Dan Campbell on the other side started calling the plays last week against the Washington Commanders for the Detroit Lions. And obviously, you look good when the Commanders are all beat up, and then you face a real defense, and then you see what happens. So we can kind of put a little bit of the lackluster offensive showing from the Detroit Lions on Dan Campbell's shoulders. We'll have a bigger sample size as the weeks continue. We'll see how that looks, but I don't think he should be calling the plays on the Detroit side. Now, from a macro perspective, on the Eagles side, and I'm just gonna say this, bro. That defense is really, really good, but if you run into Matt Stafford again, I just don't see how you're going to be able to overcome it with that offense just not producing it in any type of way, shape, or form. But I was going to ask Kevin on a scale 1 to 10, how confident is he in the Eagles? But it sounds like he's still at a 10. So even with the offensive woes, but we'll leave it there, man. That was a great discussion. I love when Jordan comes on, bro.
He turns you into an economist, bro.
He does.
He's talking
bro.
about macro and micro economics, man. Crazy. But we gonna keep it pushing, man. Just quickly, Chris, who's your dark horse playoff team, AFC, NFC?
AFC right now, based off of that solid win they had yesterday, the Jags, and then in the NFC, I'm gonna probably say there's not really many dark horses in the NFC.
Yeah.
So I guess somebody in the NFC West.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. There's no really dark horses.
There's no
out
dark
there.
horse
Yeah,
NFC.
so, yeah.
AFC, I'm gonna say Texans, staying from that division.
Yeah,
Between
South.
Jags, Texans, I feel like, Trevor gonna fold. Trevor, fold him. Let's go.
All right, yeah. So I'm going. Moving on, man. So listen, there was a performance yesterday that was really just kind of just indicative of what's been happening all season for this one player. But we really just wanted to take a moment and focus in on Josh Allen. He was real dominant yesterday against the Buccaneers. Beat them. Was it 44 to 20 something? It was a pretty emphatic showing. I don't have the score up right here. I
Yeah, he
apologize.
dogged them, yeah.
Yeah, but they
44-30.
yeah, 44-32 or something 30. Yeah, they dog walked them, but we really just wanted to check in the temperature on Josh Allen because he's been kind of up and down. Brian, what do you think, bro? Is this the start of the MVP resurgence, or is this just another weekly roller coaster ride with the Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills experience?
I just think Josh Allen has settled on the fact that he's going to have to carry this team himself and trying to depend on everyone else to carry their load. He knows it's not going to happen. He's given everyone their opportunity to shine and step up, but it looks like he's going to – honestly, Josh Allen is putting on Cam Newton heroics. He's playing that Superman role. Like, honestly, that's probably like the most equal comp to Josh Allen is Cam Newton. Honestly, because if you look at the stature, the abilities, the capabilities to carry a team, and that's all he's doing right now. So yes, he can honestly get in the MVP talk if that team makes the playoff, but it's going to be difficult because there's some other players with better stories right now than Josh Allen, and he just won one. So no for the MVP, but performances moving forward, yes, if they want to make the playoff.
Well, I mean, you can call it bias here. AFC East bias, Patriots bias, whatever the case may be. I'm not buying it. I'm just not. If you kind of just take a look at the last 5 or 6 weeks in a vacuum, he has 7 interceptions on the season. Within the last 5 games, 5 of them have come within those last 5 games. He has 2 games within that 5-game stretch with 2 or more interceptions. Within that 5-game stretch, he has 2 games with only 1 touchdown. Subpar completion percentage in 3 of those games where it's 57, 63, and then 63 again. And if you look at the defenses that he played, he balled out against the Panthers. Solid. I'm not going to knock him there. The Chiefs, we'll talk about them in a little bit. Gay team. And then he balled out against the Dolphins. The teams you really kind of expect him to. Now, in the Dolphins game, he actually lost that game, and I thought he played a little bit better than he did in this game. However, he threw more touchdowns in this game, and he ran for more touchdowns. I'm not really buying it because at the end of the day, if you're living and dying with Josh Allen, it just tells me that if you contain Josh Allen, you just contain this team. So that's where I sit with it. Do you think they're better or worse off if
They'll be better. Yeah, they're gonna be better because, like I said, he's gonna take it on himself to get to the playoffs, and it's a 3-man race between the 3 best quarterbacks in the league for the last spot in the AFC playoffs. So, yeah, all of y'all put on y'all capes. Let's see a show. I mean, they about to put up numbers. I think Patrick Mahomes about to put up numbers. Lamar, I don't know what you're doing, bro, but Lamar should be putting up numbers, and Josh Allen. So we're gonna see some vintage performances out of those 3 guys. But let's keep going, man. Let's talk about defensive side of the ball. We always show so much love to the offense, but defense is what really keeps the offense in the game sometimes. So, but we want to talk about bad defenses. So, Chris, which defenses had a meltdown? Which defensive units are sinking this team?
I'm gonna be honest, and I mentioned them just a little bit earlier. The Chiefs. If you really just take a look at the Chiefs from the last few years, on average, I think they were top 5 defense. If you just put them all together, I think one of those years they were 10 or 12. And then last year in particular, 1-score games. I think they were like 11-0 last year in 1-score games. This year they're 0-5. And if you kind of take a look at the names on this defense, you got Chris Jones, Karlaftis, McDuffie. There's one more I'm forgetting. But those guys have been there for a while now. They're kind of hitting that. It's tough in football because once you hit your peak in your prime, you only got about 2 or 3 years in those peak primes because it's such a violent and physical game. they've played the most games over the last 5 years. I brought that up when I said they weren't going to make the playoffs. I said they got super lucky in a lot of those games last year, those one-score games, very similar to Washington and the Commanders. And then this year, if you really just look at it, Chris Jones is old, Karlaftis is old, McDuffie is old. And then when the games matter most in those one-score games, they can't get key decisive stops. And then especially last night or yesterday afternoon versus Bo Nix, they weren't really. We all know what the Broncos offense looks like. They weren't moving up and down, up and down, up and down. But when the Chiefs needed to get a stop at the crucial moment, guess what happened? They allowed Bo Nix to throw a deep bomb, put them right there in touchdown territory. They score. Game over. You're back below 500.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the Chiefs defense is letting them down big time. But at the end of the day, this was to be expected. They got a lot of miles on those bodies, and they're old. They have to figure out a way to refresh it. So right now, I think they're my biggest sinking ship on the defensive side of the ball. Who you got, B?
I mean, there's obvious ones, man. A ton of obvious ones, like the Cincinnati Bengals. You can go anyone like outside of the Bengals. I want to say the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like they could be doing more for their young quarterback. They're wishy-washy. Like, everyone only speaks about the Vikings defense when they do well, which is like every other week. And then everybody throws Brian Flores' name like, that defense is swarming. That defense is stout. That defense is everything. And then they'll give up 40 points the next couple games, and everybody will go quiet. And I don't know if it's because of the market, like nobody cares about the Vikings, but, bruh, every time that defense is mentioned, you always, in your mind, you believe it's a great elite defense in the league, but they are not. Like, if you go over the last couple games, like, they gave up 40 points to the Chargers. Did you just see what that Jags defense just did to those same Chargers without an offensive line? So they're too inconsistent. And for the Vikings to make the playoffs with a young quarterback, teams with young quarterbacks either need a great running back or a great defense. And the Vikings defense needs to step up so they can get over the hump and make the playoffs. And that game against the Bears was crucial. Like, Caleb Williams is not a world beater. Caleb Williams is making it by the skin of his teeth. Vikings defense, do more. And I know we can put it on J.J. McCarthy to do more. He's on his fifth start. The Vikings defense do more. So that's my team defensive unit that could be doing a lot better, Chris.
So last question on this. What's a bad defense that you think will get better by the end of the year?
I mean, it's a defense that's already getting better, and we should have known better, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, when your identity is based on defense, there's only a matter of time. And I don't want to take them all of them that are getting better. But Pittsburgh, they're getting a lot more sacks. The trade for Zaire, he wasn't doing good on the Ravens. Is it Jair?
Jay Alexander.
Jay Alexander, yeah. He wasn't doing good on the Ravens, but all of a sudden now he's looking a lot better. He's an Eagle. Sorry, forgive me, everyone. But the Pittsburgh did make some good trades, and they got their defense is definitely turning the corner, especially with the sacks. T.J. Watt and them boys and Hightower all turning up.
I think you think about our player who we cut, the safety, Kyle Duggar.
Yeah.
He's been playing well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I had to pick one, I just talked about their offense, but the defense of the Eagles, bro, has progressively gotten better and better. And then shout out to the GOAT GM Howie, bro, for bringing in Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. Oh my goodness! Yesterday he was wrecking the game.
That's Fangio's boy. Man, he wanted him.
Yeah, he was wrecking the game for them. So I think, again, we all say defense wins championships, but in order for that Eagles to take that next step, that offense has to find a way to get some consistency. But listen, their defense is all world, one of the best units in the NFL, and I only think they're going to get better because you got Fangio there, bro. Fangio is nice with it, man. He's nice with it. You got to get his due, bro. But we're going to move on, man, from teams that are holding it down to teams that are just down bad, bro. But there is some light. There is some light there where, as we like to say, the timing is right for this guy. Shedeur Sanders made his debut yesterday, although it came in lieu of Dylan Gabriel getting a concussion in the middle of the game. Shedeur came in a tight spot. Brian, overall, what would you rate Shedeur's performance in his debut against the Baltimore Ravens?
Man, I just want to say it was not the perfect timing. I want to cry, bro, because Shedeur's for the culture, man. But you got to hedge your bets right now. He did not look great. I know all this. Y'all watch First Take. Y'all watch all the shows this morning. Everybody's making excuses like, oh, he didn't have first team reps. He didn't deliver. That's why the Browns organization is against him. I get all of that. But you got to be ready. Chris, you got to be ready. So if you give me out of 10, I'll give him an F. Yeah, I give him bro, you can't complete 4 passes.
I give him an F out of 10.
That's 5 out of 10. Sorry, I mean, I thought I'm a math guy, so I'm thinking I'm already to it. But yeah, I give him an F, and I don't think that's where he's going to be. But I'm looking forward to next week if he gets another opportunity to ball out. But if you just want to look at this game and you just want to, let's keep it real, y'all. He did not play well, and it's unfortunate that of the circumstances that he's in and that he had to play in. But when you get a shot, you got to hit it. And he didn't hit it. So not so perfect timing, but Shedeur, you got to deliver. But I'm looking forward to it, and I'm rooting for him, man, because he put a culture all day.
I'm going to keep this quick. I thought he played well considering the circumstances. Overall, in totality, yeah, it wasn't great. But there were 2 throws in particular that just were all flat out better than any throw that I've seen Dylan Gabriel make in his last 4 weeks. So one of them was to like that 25-yard chunk play to Fannin to kind of get them into that hope territory that they could possibly win this game. And then the other was an incompletion. It was a great defense by the Ravens cornerback, but he threw this moonball shot towards the end zone, gave his guy the chance to make a play on it. Obviously, it got broken up, but that ball was right on the money. It actually hit the receiver in the hands, and if the defender doesn't get a hand in on it, probably catches that touchdown and they win this game, and we're having a whole totally different story right now. But considering the circumstances, considering the fact that was his first time playing with the ones, fire Stefanski.
There we go. Now we talking, bro.
You got to go.
That's the real issue. Like,
you got to go. I thought he played well considering all those factors. But listen, like we said, I'm excited to see what he can do if he's given the opportunity. But again, with Stefanski, we never know, bro. You got to go. You're in the way. Get out of here.
Yeah, bro. I just want to touch on it a little bit more. I hate the circumstance that Shedeur is in. I'm from Cleveland, and I've been saying this. I'd rather him not play for us and find another team in the offseason. I was hoping the Browns cut him because that gives him a better chance and a better opportunity to play somewhere where it's a good organization, good coaches, somebody that's invested in him and buying into him. But right now, Kevin Stefanski is rooting for his failure, because there's no way your second-string quarterback has 0 first-team reps since he was drafted. That doesn't make any sense at all. That sounds like a coach who is upset with the owner and the organization for drafting him. And it sounds like all the conspiracy theories that we all believed beforehand. We're not going to get into that. It's happening to this kid. But I'm rooting for him that he breaks through. It's going to be a great story once he breaks through. But if I'm being honest and real about the performance, he only completed 4 passes. So yes, he threw 2 balls, Chris. That's half the passes he completed. So Shedeur, don't take my grade harshly. Just take it as motivation. Not like he's watching it, but if he is watching it, my dog, we here with you. We here with you.
And we'll leave it there for the NFL, man. But I know we're gonna be talking about Shedeur a lot more coming within the next few weeks, man. Listen, you my most exciting player to watch. But we'll move on, bro. Let's talk about some NBA, man. You know, man, what a week it's been for the NBA. Every week this week so far for the NBA has been on and popping. Oh, are we playing?
No,
Hey, Brian. I gotta know, man. The NBA just released its latest MVP power rankings, and it had my boy Nikola Jokic at the top. We're not gonna take too long on this, Brian. So right now, is Jokic the undisputed best player on earth or is someone closing the gap on my boy?
Undisputed. I mean, second is Giannis, but it goes to Jokic because he makes it look effortless, and that is scary, hands down.
I like that. Nice and quick, bro. I don't disagree. You know what I said, man. Listen, the whole effortless thing. I think who was it? I think it was it was John Wall. He was talking to the FanDuel folks, and he was like, "That has to piss other people off, bro. He's not beating you with speed. He's not beating you with athleticism. He's just beating you with pure skill, bro. Night in and night out. Kind of like those old dudes at the YMCA, bro, who just know how to hoop.
Yeah,
That's Jokic, man. He just be pissing you off. He just throws those little fake dimes.
Just crafty, bro.
Just crafty. Knows the angles. Throws those stupid layups that always hit. And I just be like, bruh, go sit somewhere, man. And I feel like that's where Jokic is right now. I still think the gap is pretty substantial. Just considering what he does on a night in those video game numbers that he does on a night in night out basis, but. I'm in agreement with you. Giannis is the second best player in basketball, bro.
And Jokic only number one because, like you said, he does it effortlessly on the offensive end, and it's the way he does it. Giannis is just so much force, you could tell he's trying. He pushing it. He's trying. But Jokic, you like, dog, I wonder how it looks if he tried. So it's kind of crazy to say.
I got a question there. Is it a good thing or a bad thing for the NBA that he's making it look easy?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's good.
All right, so let me add another layer to that real quick. Is it a good thing or a bad thing that he makes it look this easy and he's not a U.S. born player?
I mean, I would say it's half and half because he's bringing in the global audience, but he doesn't care for the U.S. fan base at all. So it's hard for the U.S. fan base to wrap their arms around him and embrace him because when he wins the finals, he gets up there and says, "I don't care, and I'm going back. I can't wait to go home and turn up in my country and take the trophy to them." So it feels like he's taking the trophy away from a U.S. player and taking it out there. But I just feel like right now on the global platform, the international players are dominating right now, and I feel like it's because they have a hunger that maybe the U.S. players just don't have. Maybe they benefit from, and this is going deep, they benefit from the non-AAU culture.
Yeah.
So they get it out the mud, and then they go play pro, and they fight on the court when they 15 and 16. Ask Luka and them about it. They throw hands. And then they come to the U.S., and they like, y'all not throwing hands? Oh, this easy.
Yeah.
And they just like, oh, y'all not playing physical? What? I mean, this is how we play. And that physical nature, like, people don't notice, but Jokic bullies everyone out there. And I'll let you chime in, but I have another soliloquy to go on about Jokic and his dominance.
I think it's a bad thing for the NBA. And this is coming from a Jokic fan, Nuggets fan. I don't think it's a good thing because if you really just take a look at his game, it's not, like I said, predicated on any like athletic feature. That means it's going to carry over. Now, depending on how he feels about it, he may be playing until he's like 40. So that might be the problem where he can exert this level of dominance deep into his late 30s and into his career. So that might be a little bit of a problem, but and the fact that he's not American born. And if you look at the last four MVPs, none of them are from the United States. And I can't see anything in the horizon with Wemby here where you could say, oh, yeah, definitively an American born player is going to take that mantle. But yeah,
Cool. And last thing, Jokic, his dominance benefits from the weak center era. If he played, I feel like in the early 2000s and 90s, it would be a little bit different. But I'll leave it there for another discussion for another time.
All right, man. So we're gonna go into the last basketball topic that we have for today, man. There's a lot of teams that we just really don't know who could come out of their conferences, Brian. So who would you say is turning a corner right now? Who has the most momentum, and which team? I'll ask it this way: which team that's on the surge upwards, has the most momentum, and how are they hiding their flaws? So who's your team who's on the upward trend, but you kind of feel skeptical about, but at the same time, it's like, yo, there's something there.
It's Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay. Yeah.
Hands down. And what are they hiding? They're hiding Joel Embiid. But that big old dope, you can't hide him, bro. That dude is humongous, man. When he get on that court, he look like that old man out there who's just hobbling back and forth up and down the court. But he get buckets in the time he out there, and he wants to play, so I do love that. But his body is failing him. But on the flip side, they have a young core that's taking the mantle, that's taking over. BJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, bro. Love it. Paul George coming back this week. Get him out of here. I do like the dynamic with Kelly Oubre and those guys. So, I mean, Quentin Grimes, they stack. They're stacked. So, Philly is a nice team that I believe should, they could be a contender in the East.
My team is the Spurs, man, and for two reasons. One, Wemby's health. Can he consistently stay healthy? Obviously, we just got the news recently before we started recording that he's going to be out a couple of weeks. That's always been a problem. And, just with that frame and that size, we've never seen anybody like 7 foot plus at that like frame really maintain a long NBA career. So that's one. Two, they also have a point guard problem, or just a backcourt problem. Got too many point guards.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. Dylan Harper, I think he's going to be really good. Stephon Castle won Rookie of the Year last year. He's really good. He plays like a do-it-all role, combo guard type of guy for them. And then you got De'Aaron Fox, who you just paid, I think, like $45 million per year for the next 5 years. I just don't see how it's all going to fit. I didn't think De'Aaron Fox was a good signing to take on, especially with such a young team. So I don't think the Spurs are sustainable this year. I think they'll make the play-in, potentially the playoffs, because you can get into the playoffs via the play-in. But right now, I think they're sitting at 4th or 5th in the West, and I don't believe that to be sustainable. And number one is because, like, Wemby, you got to find a way to stay healthy. A lot of what's happening in San Antonio, well, all of what's happening in San Antonio is predicated on you being able to stay healthy. So, yeah, I'm not a big believer in the Spurs going into this year, but hopefully maybe down the line they can find some consistency on that part.
Cool. So if you had to buy stock in one team based on November alone, who you picking?
I'm going to be a homer here, bro. And actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to go with the Rockets. I thought they needed a point guard after that first OKC loss. It just turns out they needed to find their footing. A lot of new pieces, especially in the starting lineup. Reed Shepard's not a point guard. I'm assuming they'll get that fixed by the trade deadline. But at the same time, the way Kevin Durant's been playing, bro, like, we don't talk about him enough. He's another one of the ageless wonders who's still averaging 24 or 5 points per game. Great efficiency. Şengün has kind of taken a step back this year a little bit, but if you just look at the totality of their team, you can see what they're trying to do, and they're built for the playoffs. So do I think they'll win the West? Probably not, but if I'm buying a stock in a team right now to actually contend and probably make like the semis or the conference finals, I'd probably go with the Rockets.
Yeah, I'm going Detroit Pistons. Elite. Pistons, basketball. Jalen Duren, a dog. Kay Cunningham, a dog. They ain't even got Jaden Ivey and them boys back. Tobias Harris being a veteran on that team. I mean, they got weapons. They got great coaching. I love what the Pistons are doing. I think they're going to come out the East.
That's fair. Listen, if I had to pick somebody who's like on the verge of making like that all NBA team, doesn't really get
Cade.
Cade's going to get it. We know that for sure. It's Jalen Duren.
Yeah,
he's probably on that fringe third team, depending on how it works out. Obviously, his defense will play a big factor into that, but he's up there in points. I think it's like 20 points per game. One of the top few in rebounds. So, they're a good combo, bro.
They playing with toughness. That's what I like.
Yeah. I mean, all of Bickerstaff's teams usually do, bro. They some dogs with Bickerstaff. Bernie.
I don't know about all that because I'm a Cleveland guy.
My guy Bernie and this young boy JB.
They were soft in Cleveland. I'll tell you that.
Listen, man, the producer in our ear telling us, "Let's time, guys. Time. We are at the end of regulation, everyone. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to Jordan calling in. We appreciate it. Sorry we couldn't keep you on longer, but listen, if you're ever interested in joining the the debate with us, please reach out on all of our socials. We are active, live, direct. We are eagerly waiting to hear from you all. But until that time happens, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out on all the socials, like, subscribe. Yeah, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, and like.